Hello, and welcome to the first video of my new channel. This YouTube account will be mainly focused on funny moments and tips and tricks for Carnage. But besides that, for introductions, my name is Jace. I am the #1 player on the leaderboard for wins in Carnage, and in this video I'm going to be going over a match that I have played recently to show you some things you can do to help improve your gameplay and odds at finding the Blackened in Carnage. I'm going to be breaking this video down into two different parts to make this a little easier for everybody to understand. The first will be free time, the period where you could walk around and search for weapons and just interact with everybody. The second part is the trial, when you have to sit down and discuss evidence to find out who your killer is. In both parts, I will be going over tips and just tidbits of information to help you become more knowledgeable on Carnage and how to find the killer easier. The first tip that I want to give y'all is to keep track of where everybody goes at the start of the trial. When everyone starts going their own way, make sure to keep an eye on who goes where. As I'm going back into the elevator here, I make sure to keep in mind that Yokage and Jade were in the same area together. After a while of fidgeting with the mastermind menu, which I will do a showcase video on in a later date, you can hear the killer swing the bat twice and miss. Then, on the third swing, they hit the victim. Now, you should always run over to wherever you hear any type of noise, because you can usually catch the Blackened in the act. Sound is a very important tool, and I cannot stress that enough. Sound is a very important tool you can use to find out what kind of weapon was used to kill. Now, sounds for weapons can range anywhere from the swing of a bat to a gunshot to even a squeaky toy. Another tip you should know about is blood. Blood is a very important factor of figuring out who the Blackened is and what the weapon might be. Each weapon can play their own sound or maybe leave some blood. Sometimes it can even be both. I'm going to put a diagram up for y'all to look at. Feel free to pause to look. I'm not cutting that out, by the way. I'm keeping that in. Blood has become way more noticeable now in the 0.6 update, with them changing that dark red color of the blood to a nice bright pink. The killer is even able to get some blood stuck on them. Blood is able to get attached to a person when they're around another person being killed. But be careful, because even if you didn't kill them, you can still get blood on you if you're close enough. A small reminder for the first tip, walking back to the elevator, I make sure to turn around and keep an eye on where everybody is coming from too, noting that they're all coming from the same hallway. Anyways, that concludes our free time phase. On to the trial phase. Now, there are generally 4 types of killers in Carnage that you will most likely see in your games. Type 1, the quiet killers. Quiet killers don't speak often at all. They tend to not draw attention to themselves either because they're nervous or because they think it'll lead to them being caught. The best way to counter this is to just make sure everybody speaks up in the trial, or just to have good communication overall. Type 2, the protagonist. Protagonists always try and butt in and look like the good guy, or just try and include themselves on what's going on. The best way to deal with them are just to check everybody's alibis and stay in groups of 2 or 3. Type 3, the manipulator. The manipulator killer will influence others' actions by either befriending them or making them an enemy. The best way to deal with these, though, are just solid evidence. You can't lie against solid evidence. And the last type I'm going to go over for now is the time waster. They tend to veer off of the subject of the trial, trying their best to distract everyone from providing evidence or alibis. The best way to deal with these types are just to make sure everybody is focused on the trial at hand. When I'm heading into the trial phase, I like to begin by simply asking where their last location was. By knowing that, you can deduce where everyone is and who might have been close by to do the murder. In the video, I ask, so who was with each other this round? and Jade responds with, I was with Yokage. Now, since I made sure to pay attention to where everybody was earlier in the round, I don't need anybody to confirm that Yokage and Jade were together as they said. But after that, in his words, he said, and we found Pedro. And later after that, he said he also found Jeppe. Now, something a good player will always do is push the trial in the right direction when people lose focus, start veering off topic, change the subject, or if people just aren't talking much. You can always put the trial back on track with either just a simple reminder or the better option, giving evidence, which is what I did here by telling everyone about the bat noises I had picked up on and the blood that I have found. From the two pieces of evidence that I have provided, the sound and the blood testimony, we are able to conclude that the killer's weapon of choice was the bat, and I made sure everybody else knew that as well. Now, one last tip I want to share with y'all before this video ends is when the killer lies. When you notice someone is lying, call them out. When Jeppe said the timing would have been insane, I should have called him out there, informing everyone since Yokage and Jade were together and then found Pedro that he was the only person with time to actually kill. Sadly, no one thought that he was the killer, so he never got voted out. But to show y'all he was the killer, here is Xbeth saying it. Hi guys, I want to thank y'all for getting to the end of the video if you did. I know it was very short and it is my first video and I don't do a lot of these so it might not be as good, but the more I do it, I know I will get better at explaining things and helping y'all out as we go. This is a journey for the both of us and I'm really glad to be along for the ride. So again, thank you for watching the video to the end. Make sure to subscribe, go follow me on TikTok, and I guess I'll see you in the next video.